Well, hello and good evening, everyone. I am Gary Gatto, the voice of the FIS, and welcome to P1's broadcasting coverage of Round 10 of Season 7 of the Formula Indy Series as we come to you today from Virginia International Raceway for the third time in series history with 3 races to go, including today's event for the JSelmants Motorsports Artwork Grand Prix of VIR. There you see the conditions on the screen. 84 degrees ambient, 115 degrees track temperature, only 51% humidity. I don't think we're going to see the fog roll in like we did last week with Spa. Joining me in the booth is Stevie Larkin. Stevie, we only have 4 guys in the running for the points, and I'm just going to go ahead and bring it on the screen right now. That is all. Everyone else is pretty much been eliminated. It is Caleb, Titus Sherlock, Gavin Sanders, and Tanner DeFabis. Those are your 4 available drivers for the championship, and then the run from 5th on down. Everyone has been eliminated. But we're at a place we've been to before. Neither of the winners from previous races are in the lineup, but one of the races that did real good, and both of those races is Gavin Sanders. And guess what? His name is on the list I'm showing here, and he is also did pretty well in practice. I think turning the fastest lap in practice. I'm assuming he's going to do well in qualifying. We shall see. There's still you still got to complete the laps in qualifying to get credit for them, but. It's going to be an interesting race at this track we've been to before. It's a narrow racetrack, but these guys seem to like it. But what are your opening thoughts here, as now we only have 4 drivers in the running for this championship?
Yeah, and it's getting right down. It's a really close championship fight, particularly, especially at the top 2. Caleb Bensi versus Titus Sherlock. Sherlock, of course, won last time out at Spa-Francorchamps, trying to claw back some momentum in this championship fight, and he is certainly doing so. We're keeping an eye on the qualifying results. Bensi right now on the pole, and making sure, trying to see where he is. Down in 7th place, actually, is Titus Sherlock, getting ready to go one more time out here. He's got 2 more laps to make it happen. But this championship fight, I think, the way the momentum goes could easily be decided here at VIR, especially since historically, I remember a time like this was long ago when I first joined iRacing back in 2013. Man, that's been a long time, hasn't it? But this was before the Nürburgring was even added to the iRacing service. This was Nürburgring joined the service in 2016. And many people, including Jimmy Broadbent, described VIR as the analog to the Nürburgring before the Nürburgring joined the service. He didn't like this place very much. He described it with a 4-letter word that I know some people get riled up, but I say pretty regularly in my off time. But this place is a challenging one. It's very fun. You got a lot of fast sweeping corners, not very many places to make moves happen.
No.
But when you get it done, you get it done. And it's like, you got to take chances where you can here, because if you don't, you could easily lose out on a win or a championship fight here. That could be what we see tonight here in Virginia.
I'm watching Gavin now as he is currently 3rd provisionally with about 2 minutes and 50 seconds left to play. Here are the remainder of the points. Here are the amateur division. We'll get the track map back off the screen here and bring you the points. Tommy Raval, a leader by 20 over Kyle Allen, Cody Claiborne, Rutherford, Herman are your top 5. Miglin, Rutherford, Cook, Ogden, and Du Bois still are the remainder of the top 10. A number of these drivers have not really showed up for a while, so if you are an amateur and you haven't raced in some races here and you're kind of outside the top 10, well, now's your shot. You can get in here and probably make up some ground in the top 10 of the rookie championship or the amateur championship. Here are the team points coming into today. Stowe Maroon, of course, with a pretty hefty lead over Eclipse Competition, then Eclipse Blue, Dynasty, and Vision 1, your top 5. PBR, TWR, RSJ, and TWR Gold back in 7th and 8th. Olaf Gemini and Hoosier Fish back in 9th and 10th. Currently on the pole provisionally is Caleb Benzie, our points leader, with a 128.8. Papasavas right next to him provisionally in second with a 129.2. So Benzie, the only car in the 128 bracket. Sanders third at a 129.2. Sherlock a 129.2 as well. And Logan Spath, teammate to Caleb Benzie, in the 129.2 bracket as well. That is your top five here with a minute left to play.
And right now, I'm keeping an eye on Titus Sherlock going through Oak Tree Bend, going onto the back straightaway here. 3.2 miles is this track here in Alton, Virginia, right next to the North Carolina border, in fact. And down this long back straightaway and into the roller coaster. This is his last shot to gain positions here. It's very close between second and sixth positions, all within the same tenth of a second of each other. Way up on the curves, fast downhill run. Titus Sherlock on the throttle. Oh, he gave up on it. So he is going to start fourth provisionally.
Gavin's still out there. 20 seconds left to play. Flying laps count.
Sanders not going to dive for pit row, going up to the line. Can he bump Papasavas off the front row of the grid? He does not, but only by 3/1000ths of a second.
Slight improvement
This is a tight field tonight, folks.
Yes, it is.
And time is up.
We will do our little bit of a warm-up here before we go racing, in time for us to read the starting lineup.
And as everyone rolls out for their warm-up laps.
And with today's starting lineup from VIR, we'll turn it back over to you. Stevie, here we go.
And on the pole, Caleb Benzie, a pole position when he needs it. The only driver in the 128s tonight, 128.880, 4/10 ahead of Evagoras Papasavas, one of our USF 2000 stars in real life. The 71 machine will start off second. What can he get out of this one? Gavin Sanders will start off third, trying to stay alive in the championship hunt. He's going to start that number 10 machine in third, alongside Titus Sherlock, second in the points. And he's got a lot of driving to do. The winner last time out at Spa. This could be a very interesting fight in this race tonight. Logan Spath will start off fifth in the number 3 machine. He'll be alongside Tristan Moss, another very fast run for the 41 team, in sixth. Kevin Bonomi, very good showing once again for the 75 machine, in 7th place, alongside Tanner DeFabis, who's been fast all season, but seems to have a bit of an issue getting that little bit out of it here at VIR in qualifying. He's going to start off 8th tonight. Hunter Engrav in the 77 machine will start off 9th. And we were just talking about him earlier. G3 Argyros will start off 10th in the 63 machine. Another good run in just his second race. Michael Costello will start off 11th alongside Joey Selmetz on row 6. Row 7 will be Matt Schlosser and Nate Siefker. A bit of a struggle for the number 2 machine tonight. Row 8, Matt Johnston and Nick Goyette. Row 9, Kyle Allen and Zach Falm. Row 10, Takeshi Kita and Gabriel Aslan. Row number 11, Cody Claiborne and Brian Labarge. Row 12, Griffin Yellen and Tommy Raval. Row 13, James Watson and JJ Wang. Row 14, Hayden Herman and Corey Rutherford. And row number 15, Joshua Rutherford and Kyle Mundell did not post a qualifying time. And shotgun on the field, Dan Miglin in the number 4. 31 drivers will run 38 laps around Virginia International Raceway tonight. And right in the heart of the championship battle, right when it matters most for our championship contenders, this can be a very interesting track for them. I think we're in for a show tonight. As everyone starts to warm up here. And this track, I will say, many of the IndyCar hardliners would say that this is a weird choice to come to. IndyCar has never raced here at VIR,
Nope.
even though this track has been around since 1957, amazingly. This track is more of a sports car racing venue, and that shows in the lap record here. That was Lucas Luhr in a HPD. By then was HPD just became what Acura was back then. The ARX03A LMP1 class Le Mans prototype in 2012, 136.112. So the pole sitter Caleb Benzie 8 seconds faster than the overall race lap record here in the sports cars.
Got a minute 10 left here in the warm-up.
You see Titus Sherlock moves out of the way of Benzie there. He's just sitting on pit road, probably getting some things calibrated here. And looked to me like he was going to do a practice start. And this pit road here, it's definitely got its own quirks to it. It's a fast entry coming into pit road here. And the exit basically drops you right on the racing line going through what naturally is a straightaway in effect. But it is like a curving straightaway, if that makes any sense to you. But you basically get dropped off right on the main straight, and I've seen some carnage here in the sports cars. And naturally, these drivers maybe a cut above your, and definitely a cut above your average guy that you come across in a public server. So this is gonna. So I think these guys are going to be playing it a little bit careful coming off of pit road here. But it's going to be one of those cases where if you're going for a championship, how safe do you really want to cut it?
Yeah, people in chat checking in. I will be genuinely amazed if I finish this race. I don't know who Mullet Music is in the lineup, but they are hoping just to kind of get through turn one at this point. And then he says, hi, Mom. So Mom must be in the chat as well. But the rule set is for today's race. It is a 3.27 mile, 17 turn road course. We're doing 38 laps, 124.26 miles. No fast repair, unlimited tires, but you are required a compound change and a pit road speed limit of 47 miles an hour.
And now, as everyone starts to get lined up here, this is 3 races remaining in the season. It's been a fantastic one so far. And let's see how this championship battle will go. The championship leader, Caleb Benzie, on the pole. His arch rival, Titus Sherlock, will start off 4th.
Trying to get a good angle here. We don't have a very good grid angle. Here we go.
This is kind of an awkward grid here. Yeah. Now that looks a bit better. And of course, standing starts here, as always. All of the leaders are starting on reds. They're starting on the soft compound tire. May suggest to me that these guys feel confident in these tires tonight, unlike last time out at Spa, where you basically didn't want to touch the red tire with a 20-foot pole. Green flag flies. We are underway in Virginia. A bit of a rough start for Papasavas. And look at Sanders already trying to force his way up the inside into turn 1. Has to yield a little bit. Into turn 1 they go. Sanders alongside Papasavas for second. Oh, a bit of a scuffle there behind them. Logan Spath up into 4th place. He's gotten around Sherlock. Bad start by Titus. He moves to the inside. Spath gets punted off the track into the tire barrier. Titus Sherlock still going, though. Doesn't look like any damage. That may have been a netcode contact. And another call on Papasavas. Papasavas goes way wide at the start of the S's. Losing on several positions, including to his teammates. Is everyone trying to get themselves into some semblance of order, going uphill through this roller coaster S-curves here. Spectacular part of the circuit. But Evagoras Papasavas, one of the big losers there. Ooh, as I saw one of Sherlock's teammates there. Sherlock has gone around both his teammates. That's the 19. Michael Costello got a lightning start. Pretty much up into the top 5 already. Logan Spath is out of the race. Costello making a fantastic go of it.
Hunter Ingrave is missing a left front wing plane, so he has shedded some parts. Number of drivers throughout the field are missing parts. Logan Spath has went ahead and parked it. I think Tristan Moss is missing both wing planes on the front of his Dallara. Siefker missing one of his wing planes right now.
Already a bit of chaos here on this opening lap as Caleb Bensey leads the way going into turn number 1 for the second time. And now Tanner DeFabis up into third position and putting the pressure on Gavin Sanders for second place. A great run so far from 8th to 3rd for Tanner DeFabis. He was definitely the big winner in that one alongside Costello.
Hunter Ingrave on pit road, new nose. Tristan Moss coming into pit road. He will get service looked at here, and he will go to the from the reds to the primes and get a new nose.
And G3 Argos gets around Papasavas, muscles his way around that Eclipse machine. What a great run so far. Again, this is only his second race in the series and really making a good impression. He had a good run going at Spa until an error caused him to wreck out and ended his day. Let's see how he makes up for that here tonight. Argyros, I should say. I need to get used to saying his name a little bit. I remember being described to me. Just need to... I'm pretty sure I'll be saying it a few times tonight, given what I'm seeing of him, as he's putting the pressure on Titus Sherlock. This is the battle for the top 5 here, as DeFabis has gotten around Sanders and up into P2. And Costello now has gotten around... Yes, he has. Costello has gotten around Titus Sherlock, so Sherlock... Argios, what a move! Dives it down there, and now Papasavas is going to follow him through there. Titus Sherlock not having a good go of it. He's probably fuming with his teammates as much as he is with Argios right now. But Argios, what a run so far. From 10th up to fighting for a top 5. What a showing. But meanwhile, I'm looking at the front. Tanner DeFabis has well and truly caught Caleb Bensey for the lead of this race.
Yeah, but
making their way through Oak Tree.
Yeah, the old Oak Tree, but he's brought with him Gavin. Gavin has kind of followed him up through, or
Indeed,
up to.
He has.
And Gavin finished second here back in 2021 and finished 5th here in 2022 in our 2 previous races back in Season 2 and Season 4. So he has 2 top 5 finishes here. Caleb finished 4th in 2022. He did not have a great race in 2021 where he finished 9th.
Papasavas is off, and Argios has a broken front wing. What has happened here in this battle as Sherlock now gets back around Argios? And now one wing angel situation. It looks like... Was it contact? Yes, it was. He actually got into the back of Papasavas and punted him off there as they went down to the roller coaster.
Hey, watch this. He kind of tucks in behind. Actually, doesn't tuck in. Papasavas just cuts across him. No big deal. Just getting in line and then gets to the braking zone and a little bit of a boot. And
yep.
One got shoved off, a little brute force there. The other one's going to have to come to pit road to get a new nose here in a couple of laps.
And Papasavas is already...
But Papasavas, yeah, he is being shown the meatball flag, so the damage is more critical on his.
Yeah, it was. So, as the battle is on, DeFabis has gotten around Caleb Bensey for the lead of this race and already pulling away. Here comes Gavin Sanders now.
Oh, here's what happened is Caleb missed one of his braking zones, or what missed his marks here. Watch this. Didn't really miss. He got kind of muscled out a little bit, but
kind of muscled out of that situation there. But Tanner DeFabis showing no fear tonight, and he has muscled his way from 8th on the grid to the lead of the race by the end of lap number 4. What a drive right now. And Gavin Sanders, now sensing the opportunity here, gets right up on the gearbox of his old friend Caleb. Let's not forget here, Gavin is still in this championship fight here. Getting around Bensey can only be a benefit to him. Through these sweeping S curves here. This track is mostly made up of S curves, I find. A few hairpins, a few few chicanes here, but it's a lot of sweeping S curves. It's a very fun track to drive. A lot of drivers really enjoy it. Some of them not so much, but some of them may argue, some you may argue, why are they wrong?
Well, a number of drivers are on pit road out. We started with 30. Unfortunately, Logan Spath is going to be first out in 30 as Zach Flaum now shown on pit road with extended repairs. He's 29th. Matt Johnston, who I believe was in the top 10 in points, he is now in 28th and out. Nate Siefker on pit road, former series champion, season 2 champion. He is out. Joey Selments, the sponsor of today's race, he is out. Not a good day for the Spath, the Stowe Motorsport Group with Spath and Selments out. Tristan Moss is out. He's currently shown in 25th, and a teammate to him, Evagoras Papasavas, and now in 24. So we started this thing with 30 cars, and we now have 23 still going, and now we're watching a battle between Gavin Sanders and Caleb Bency for second spot. As it got tight there. Oh no! Caleb, hang on, Caleb.
Hold on to it. He does.
Wow.
Gets around him. Oh my goodness! Great save by Bency.
This is not Hazard County, but he saved it like a Duke boy.
Oh yes, he did. Beautiful save by Caleb Bency there. Lost out to Gavin Sanders on that one, and now he's got Michael Costello starting to get himself into this argument here. But Bency seems on a bit of a struggle on these last few corners there. He had a bit of a lockup in the turn 1, and that's what really got Gavin Sanders on his inside coming off of turn number 1. And then that happened. And now he's got the young hotshot Michael Costello, the number 19, getting back into this argument. And Titus Sherlock probably sees that and he's thinking, ooh, this could be portentous to me. Sitting back in 5th, his 2 teammates there, though, are stealing the show, even though Sherlock is the one fighting for the championship against Caleb Bency.
Checking chat here. Josh Rutherford's in chat as Mullet Music. And Josh is currently in 20th. There he is, I believe, is there into Oak Tree. There used to be an oak tree there in that turn, and that's why it's called Oak Tree. It's been removed because, well, kind of a safety hazard to be putting there so close to the race course. So that's why it's no longer there. And it got tipped over by a hurricane. The hurricane was just doing the work that was meant to be done anyways.
Yeah, I guess you could say that. Like much of the chagrin of everyone who is like a diehard VIR lover.
So Dawn Golden is the mother of Josh and Corey. So welcome. Always good to have family here. Corey is following his brother right there and 21st as they streak down the pit straight. Hunter Ingrave.
Up
Hayden
7 positions.
Yeah, not bad start. Hunter Ingrave got the new wing. He's back in the lineup, and he gets around Hayden Herman, and Argyros is now tracking him down. This should be a pretty good battle between 2 guys that are pretty good on road courses. As Brian Labarge sees him coming, pulls over and goes, nope, you guys just have the position. That's okay.
Yeah, I think he knew who he was dealing with there. These are 2 very fast drivers trying to make up for positions. And Papasavas, I should note, has thrown in the towel. He is out of the race with that terminal damage that he had from the contact with Argyros. So that's game over for Papasavas. Once again, very fast, very talented driver, no doubt. He races in the USF 2000 championship in real life. And just unfortunate there in that instance and sees him out of the race early. But Engrav and Argyros trying to make up the time they have lost. These are 2 very fast drivers here. And Argyros already up on the gearbox of Hunter Engrav. This is on track. This is for 16th place. And Argyros.
Yeah, Argyros on the inside down the main straight. Argyros is actually he competes in the USF 2000 championship as well. So another one of their series drivers here in the FIS, and he is showing how he is sliding that car all over the place. That is great.
I mean, that would explain a few things for sure, and he's putting that real-world skill out there for all to see. Up to 14th position right now is Argios. So he is on the hunt. He is trying to make up these spots. Next in line is Gabriel Aslan. Aslan is about 15 seconds up the road, going through Oak Tree at the moment, trying to hunt down Tommy Raval in the battle for 12th place.
Oh, close battle coming back here for 7th between Griffin Yellen and Matt Schlosser in the 1 as Schlosser gets great acceleration off the corner.
Oh, yeah, he did. Matt Schlosser, 13th to 8th. Very good run by the number 400. Right up on the gearbox of Griffin Yellen, the number 7, currently in 7th after starting 23rd on the grid, I'll note. Very good run by Griffin.
Cody
One
Claiborne,
of the Eclipse drivers.
one of the many Eclipse drivers in the lineup. Cody Claiborne back in 9th in the Fish car, leading a bit of a draft train with J.J. Wang, Kyle Allen, and Tommy Raval. So championship implications for... actually, Raval is not in that battle. He's a couple cars back. That is Matt Johnston, who had a bit of a rough start. He is down 5 laps, but back on the racetrack. There he is in the Expel Dallara.
Yeah, he's trying to pick off whatever spots may come his way is Matt Johnston.
There is Tommy Raval back in 12th. He is your amateur division points leader. And right behind him is Gabe Aslan. That is a battle for position. This is a battle for 13th as Gabe goes on the outside, inside. Oh, and we're bouncing all over curbs. Oh,
Raval off, gathers it up though. That is a bold place to make a pass like that. Made it work though. Tommy Raval was probably none too pleased with the move being made there. Why couldn't you wait till Oak Tree? Well, apparently he couldn't. They both keep going and now move Aslan up into 12th position. Next in line, it's Kyle Allen, the 999 machine.
Yeah, they're going to have to catch that little bit of draft train in front of them. Back to the battle between Yellen and Schlosser. Schlosser has a position. Yellen just dives it in there. Schlosser dives back in, gets it back, switch over. Nice job.
That was bold as well from Griffin Yellen. Matt Schlosser, though, gets it right back.
Kind of reminiscent of the battle we saw on Sunday between Pato and Pelot.
Yeah, it was. And Griffin Yellen,
actually, that wasn't
imagine
Pato.
At this point, we're running lap number 10 here. A lot of the drivers on the lead and at the front of this pack started this race on the soft tire, and Schlosser started on the hard tire. So he may well be at the crossover point where he's getting better grip right now than the 400.
Yeah, I'm sorry, that was Lundgaard, not Schlosser. But excuse me, Lundgaard, not Pato. Schlosser is a driver we're watching. He's in 7th, and yes, he is on push the pass, but something's not... He is almost out of push to pass.
Oh. So, basically he's just dumped the button for much of the stint. Oh, someone's off. Michael Costello. Costello is off. That car is trashed. Oh my goodness, what has happened to our 5th place runner?
Something, okay, I think this is before Oak Tree.
Yeah, I was going into Oak Tree. Oh, just overcooks it and into the tire barrier he goes. Michael Costello, and that was in the, trying to see who that was behind him, they were in the middle of a fight there, but oh my goodness. So Costello out of the race again from 11th to a top and fighting for a top 3 and out of the race. And Argios is out of the race is on pit road as well. This does not look like a scheduled stop for G3.
That was JSelmants. He is rejoined down 4 laps, but he was behind that incident. We're going to go back in time here and see what happened to G3. Did something happen to him that caused him to come to pit road? Let's see here. Oh, he cooks it, gets on the grass, and then he goes for a little bit of a ride, but he catches it.
Yeah, caught it and pulls off the track afterwards.
Well, maybe the old cat jumped on the lap or something and surprised him a little bit. It's happened to me before. So Hunter Ingraham going to get the position back.
Happens to me too. Yeah, and my cat would definitely do that. I don't know what the situation was with Argios or Argios's cat, if that indeed is the case. But he has punched out G3 Argios, who has put in a phenomenal performance. Both races we've seen of him out of the race early. That, hopefully this does not keep up as a trend, really, because with the performances he's put in, I'd love to see him get the results that he's capable of.
Gavin Sanders back to 8th, and he did come off pit road, and I'm not sure if that was a scheduled stop or not.
Well, he switched to the hard tires, so it could very well be that was coming in early here. It looks like to be a two-stop race.
No, the window is open for a two-stopper right around lap 12, so that makes sense. So he is going to pit right at lap 12, so I did the math here. We're doing 38. If we do a two-stopper, that is doing 12.666 repeating laps for your first stint. So we are right at that window where he started on the alternate tires. Probably wanted to get off them quickly, and so he just did the 12 laps, and he could probably do these next two stints about a lap longer on these alternate on the prime tires. And let's go to Bensi.
And Titus Sherlock is coming as well. I see Kevin Bonomi making the dive towards pit road. So it seems to be that the two-stop strategy seems to be what these guys are considering. Tanner DeFabis has still stayed out, going out for at least one more lap on the soft tires. Bensi off the jacks. Down and away he goes.
And if they want to do a one-stop strategy, they got to get to lap 19. And that has been an ongoing kind of game that drivers have been playing all season long. Who could pull off the one-stopper? We've had a couple races determined in that style. Maybe we do see a one-stopper in the form of Matt Schlosser, as he has started the race with the hard tires.
Or even Tanner DeFabis. We could see what he manages to do, trying to stretch these soft tires as much as he possibly can. Because you've got to change compounds in any case at some point in the race. And if you're only going to do it once, you got to make the most of each set of tires you got here, and you got to preserve them for a long run. We'll see what DeFabis has in mind as all the other competitors around him came onto pit road, coming on this time by. He will come in. So a two-stopper.
I'm not sure how Schlosser is going to do a one-stopper, considering he's used all of his push-to-pass already in this first stint.
Yeah, it's kind of strange in a lot of ways that he's dumped the button like that and just spent all of his push-to-pass. He's gotten up into second position. He's staying out one more at least.
Makes you wonder if the button was stuck or something, you know?
Yeah, like the button was accidentally linked to his gas pedal. I mean, I may have heard stranger things, I'm sure, but Schlosser, an interesting strategy to say the least. Let's see if it plays out for him.
And can he do another?
Schlosser staying out here, getting some lap sled.
Yeah, can he do another 5 laps? That might be asking an awful lot, considering every ounce of push to pass has been used.
Yeah, exactly. And DeFabis staying out on. Camera played tricks on me there. Keeping an eye on Caleb Bensi, and DeFabis has really gotten a big gap on both, not really on Sanders. Sanders is actually right there in the thick of it with Tanner DeFabis. Caleb Bensi, though, got a bit of a gap there between him and Sanders, particularly. He's gotten around JJ Wang, so he only has a lap car in front of him. No, he actually doesn't. That's Griffin Yellen. that he has to negotiate with.
Griffin in 4th spot.
Through that right-hander, down through the roller coaster. Griffin Yellen has not come in yet.
No, Schlosser, Yellen, Wang, Allen, Aslan, those are all in your top 10 who have not stopped yet. There you see Bensi on the push, the pass.
Yeah, he's thinking that he's got to take this opportunity there, and Yellen forces him to the outside for turn 1. Bull banging wheels there, but around the outside. Wow. Beautifully done, Caleb Bensi. Gotten around Griffin Yellen there, who was putting up more of a fight than you may expect for someone in that position. But Bensi was having none of it. And a big twitch there by Griffin Yellen there, going through those fast S's on the way out. But Caleb Bensi now has got to put in some hot laps here on these hard tires to get back up to Gavin Sanders and Tanner DeFavis in this fight.
JJ Wang scheduled stop. He's done, still waiting for Schlosser. Is he going to come by this time? We shall see. He is now 15 laps into his stint.
As I'm watching DeFavis and Sanders and Matt Schlosser staying out still, it's going to be at least 16 laps for Matt Schlosser. That could well be the game he's trying to play and pull a one-stopper out of his hat. Coming up to the line now, DeFavis gained about 1.2 seconds on Schlosser on that previous lap.
Push the pass.
Gavin Sanders with them.
The push the pass stuff off there. Sorry, I had that up on there too long. There are your intervals. Schlosser is your leader by 2.8 seconds.
I just noticed something.
Okay.
DeFavis has a black flag.
Oh, he does.
He has a black flag. What has happened there?
Did he cut the corner and not give...
Was it a pit lane infraction? Not sure what happened there. But he has had his last few laps deleted.
Let's see.
Let's see.
I think it is speeding off of pit road.
Speeding on pit road. Oh, no. Not at all what DeFavis would have wanted here. He's putting in a phenomenal performance. The winner in the season opener at Fuji has kind of struggled to get back to victory lane throughout the rest of the season. And now this happens. I'm sure he's got to be fuming in his helmet right now.
Well, I mean, that's an unforced error by the driver. It's not like somebody in front of him. And here comes the pit road with Schlosser. So Schlosser's going to make his scheduled stop at 16 coming to 17. And DeFavis has got a drive-through penalty for speeding on pit road. I do not think it's a 40-second hold. I think it's just a drive-through. So we'll watch him.
We'll see.
Oh, he's going to come to, probably top off the tanks, throw on a new set of tires. Why not if you're going to be here?
Yeah.
And now the 40-second hold.
And this is just agony as a driver.
So now your leader is Gavin Sanders by 4 seconds over Caleb Bensi. There is Caleb. Caleb in front of him is a teammate in the form of Aiden Herman. There he is.
And Gavin doing everything he needs to do at this point to get himself into the championship conversation once again.
He said his goal was to just get on those podiums and keep talking to us for post-race interviews. And, well, he's got himself in prime position to do that if he could hang on for another half of this race.
Indeed so. And, Gavin, you're doing everything right so far tonight. Hopefully we don't curse you. Downhill through the roller coaster. And coming to the line, keeping an eye on the lap times these drivers are running. Gavin Sanders to the stripe Last time around was a 130.9. Caleb Benzie, 131.2. About 5.1 seconds is the gap between Sanders and Benzie.
Just saw
Benzie has a
Bonomi.
lot to make up on.
Yep, and we just saw Bonomi get around Kyle Allen for 4th, so move him up to 4th. Allen back to 5th. Allen is our lead amateur at the moment.
And he is not pitted, I should note. Kyle Allen has not come onto pit road yet.
Hunter Ingrave on pit road. Second stop. First stop was for a new nose. This is a bit more of a scheduled stop for him.
And DeFabis, I'll note, is back on track. About a minute off the leaders. He's down in 15th place. Trying to salvage whatever points he can because he is also in championship contention as it stands tonight. So any points he can get is definitely going to be important. If not to win the championship outright, at the very least to be top 3 in points.
Kyle Allen through Oak Tree now. And now he comes down shortly into the pit straight area, and we'll see if he makes the turn. He is actually 1 lap away from getting that number for a 1-stopper, so we'll see if he's going to be the one at this race to roll the dice.
Could very well be. Kevin Bonomi came in on lap 12 in front of him. So Kyle Allen going for a 1-stopper. We've seen a few drivers do it throughout the season. Some of them have gotten wins doing it. He's staying out for one more. This is what he needs.
This is a 1-stop strategy here for 2nd place in the amateur championship. And he has a whole host of drivers in front of him right now. There is Josh Rutherford coming off of pit road for a scheduled stop. And then right in front of him is Bonemi. But I don't think he's really racing Bonemi at the moment. He is racing the racetrack in a strategy.
And Gavin Sanders also just racing the track at the moment. And really, at a track like VIR, that's the main thing you do here. It's really easy to make a mistake. You've got to be focused on the circuit as much, if not more so, than on the guys you're fighting with. Gavin Sanders with a 5-second lead to his name and a few lap cars in front of him, though. But he is in the best position to be just focusing on his marks, focusing on the track. Focusing on how the car feels as well.
And just want to explain on the timing and scoring tree just to the left, if you see a red triangle next to a driver's name, that means they are on the alternate red sticky faster tire over the short run. And then if you see a black triangle or a triangle with the white outline there, that means they are on the prime tire, which is the... Ooh, Miglin gives a little power slide in front of our leader. The prime tire is a little bit harder, lasts longer, and will have faster laps toward the mid or end of its run.
Yeah, Gavin probably didn't like to see that happen right in front of him. Clears him, though, gets himself into clean air. The next driver he would have to deal with down the line is Brian Labarge, and he's about 20-odd seconds up the road from Miglin. So... And he has also been passed by Tanner DeFabis. And DeFabis, I'll note, kind of dropping back against Hunter Engrave, though Engrave is on softer tires at the moment. So, actually, yeah, DeFabis is running quite a bit faster now. So, Engrave to the line, 130.1. Very fast lap there. And Kyle Allen just came off of pit road now. Going for the 1-stop strategy, has switched to the hard tire.
Well, that should be his final stop. He should be done.
He should be able to make it work.
The thing he needs to do here is he's about 30 plus seconds ahead of where our leader is at the moment. On the tree there you see, or on the map there you see Kyle in the number 13th spot there highlighted. We go to our leader Gavin. You see he's going into turn 1 there. So about 20 to 30 seconds lead that Kyle Allen has. He needs to really stay on the lead lap. I don't know if he could push hard enough to stay on the lead lap, but he needs to stay on the lead lap. That will definitely help him and picking up spots when everyone else comes to pit road.
So that we will definitely be keeping tabs on here in the second half of this race. We're just past halfway here. 38-lap race. We're working lap 21 for our race leader, Gavin Sanders. And Bensi has closed the gap a little bit, about 4.8 seconds. It's a bit of a big ask, but he is giving it everything he's got to extend that championship lead. Titus Sherlock, though, is his main competitor, and he's stuck in third with a bunch of lap cars at the moment. Ooh, very hairy there. I noted for Titus Sherlock. He's gotten himself into clean air now, but the gap between him and Bensi is about 15 seconds. It's a big margin for him to make up.
And tonight's coverage is sponsored by JSelmants Motorsports Art. Get your own hand-drawn racing artwork of your favorite driver, livery, team, or motorsports moment to hang on your home, hang in your home, or in your office, or maybe next to your rig. To see more of Joey's artwork or to contact him for your own commission, visit his website, follow him on Instagram, or email him today. You can find all that info in the description. JSelmants and JSelmants Motorsports Art. Check them out. We'll have a little bit of a slideshow of some of his IndyCar-related art during the post-race interviews. Your leader right now is Gavin Sanders, Caleb Bensi, Titus Sherlock, Kevin Bonimi, and Kidda has worked his way up to P5.
Indeed he has, and he's gotten around Matt Schlosser to do it. On the red tires at the moment, Schlosser on the hard tire. And Takeshi Kidda from 19th to 5th. Stayed out of trouble and picked off spots where he can. And now, but once again under pressure from Matt Schlosser, who looked to have a peak there going uphill through the S's. A bit crazy to be trying to make a move there, but Schlosser realizes it. He backs off. But one of the best opportunities here coming out of Oak Tree is going to be this long back straightaway.
If you enjoy the coverage of the Formula Indy Series and respect the stream, please do us a solid. Make sure you support us by subscribing. And while you're at it, don't forget to smash like and click the bell so you'll miss out on future P1 iRacing broadcast. Schlosser to the inside. There's contacts as Kidda goes spinning and Schlosser goes by. And I'm sure he didn't mean to make contact, but contact was made.
Indeed it was. Kidda gathers it up there. It doesn't look like there was a meatball flag given to him. He did lose a couple of spots there actually, did he lose some spots?
No, I don't think he did. He just lost the one to Schlosser.
He's just the one to Schlosser, yeah. And there's a couple of lap cars there. Cody Claiborne now starting to come into the picture in that one. But Takeshi Kidda probably frustrated with that one, but that one could have ended up quite a lot worse. Just ask Evogoras Papasavas, though I'm sure he's kind of frustrated at this point.
He does have two lap cars in front of him, and Josh Rutherford and Nick Goyette before he could get back to Schlosser. But I imagine if he does get back up to Matt there, elbows out.
I would imagine so. Takeshi's going to see that one, and I've seen him. I've raced with him before, and he's a good driver, and he doesn't seem to be too crazy. But with that sort of situation, that could be... perhaps as a Brit would say, tea with no biscuits in that one. Like, you are not going to be too kind about it. Maybe not aggressive, but you're going to make your displeasure known.
The next race for us is next week at 8:20 p.m. Final oval race of the season, our third of three ovals, Nashville Superspeedway. Will it be Caleb, who won at Milwaukee? Will it be Gavin, who won at Texas earlier this season? Tune in and find out the last big wild card race of the season next week, Nashville Superspeedway for 300 kilometers. And then we move off to our final race of the season at Road Atlanta.
And Kidda is on pit road now. Was this, trying to see if this was scheduled at all. He came in on lap 6. Looks to me like we're definitely in the window for him to finish off this race on fuel, so that may well be his game plan.
Yeah, the window's open actually at lap 24, 25, 26, somewhere in there.
And Kidda staying on red tires in this case. Interesting choice here, especially for a long stint. I think he may have started this race on the hards, if I recall right. So an interesting move there. I probably would have stuck with the hard tire if I was going to go long on this one, which looks to be the final plan here for Takeshi Kidda.
JJ Wang in a battle with Griffin Yellen. This is a battle for 7th with lap traffic in front of them.
Yellen has seen that 00 machine in his rearview mirrors for quite a while. And both of them have been making fantastic runs. Griffin Yellen started 23rd. JJ Wang started 26th. They're running 7th and 8th, respectively.
Oh, Yellen got in there too deep with to get the slower traffic.
Lap traffic may be coming into play here as Griffin Yellen locked a brake going down through the hill.
Oh, Nicoya, get out of the way.
Car got out of the way. Very good job there.
Oh,
as
JJ Wang
now comes on the pit road. Final stop of the day, would seem.
Final stop, yes, along with one of the Rutherfords coming to pit road. JJ has one of the first stalls. He gets in there right away.
Corey Rutherford is the 555 machine coming down pit road as well. And I'm also seeing that is Aslan coming down pit road.
Aslan. So, yeah, Wang, at the time he pitted, was up 16 spots. So we'll see when our leader comes to pit road. Here is Gavin Sanders. He's going to bypass it for one more lap.
Staying out for one more.
Gavin as well, or Caleb as well. Let's see if Titus, who is a little bit further back, in fact, a lot farther back. Let me give you some gaps here between positions. There you see he's 17 seconds behind Bency. He decides not to come to pit road. Let's see if Bonimi bypasses pit road. Schlosser, we'll see if he comes to pit road.
And Sanders has been laying down some really quick laps right now in the 1-minute 30s. He's pulling away from Bency and from Sherlock there. So Gavin Sanders has got a really, really fast race car underneath him tonight, and it shows.
Gavin and Caleb are currently tied for second all-time. And wins in the Formula Indy Series each have 10. So if Gavin gets the win today, he will then bust out back to being second all-time, only behind Mitch Welker, who leads the series all-time with 17 wins. Mitch, the defending series champion, chose not to rejoin to defend this season. Maybe we see him in a future season when we go to season 8.
Honestly, I would have loved to see him compete against the young guns we've got coming into the series this season. Your Michael Costellos, your Tanner DeFavises, your Titus Sherlocks. That would have been a phenomenal championship battle, I think.
I don't think they're fans of one another. I think that might be the problem.
Yeah, that's fair.
And we've all been there before. Oh, those guys? No, I'm not going to race in that league. No.
Yeah, and like as soon as he saw a certain name, I'm like, nope, not getting involved in that. We've all been there. We all have those drivers that we don't particularly like to compete with.
Cody Claiborne up 15 spots to P6. Griffin Yellen up 16 spots to P7. Hunter Ingrave, he's gone from the back, from the front to the back to the front again. Here's a battle for 7th between Ingrave and Yellen. Ingrave only up 1 spot officially, but remember he had to make an early stop to get his nose changed.
Yes, he did, and Hunter Ingrave on soft tires really got the grip underneath him now. Griffin Yellen sees that 77 back there.
There he goes.
Getting a little bit antsy, and now Engrab goes to the inside. But Yellen gonna have it right back again. Engrab, though, round the outside.
Nice
beautifully done. Very nice.
Job.
Hunter Engrab up into 7th.
Hunter Engrab coming off a good week last week. Podium in the Elite Racing League's Warriors for Peace IndyCar Series at Barber, as well as a top 10 finish in the Votive Indy Oval Series at Pocono. So good week for him. And now a good race for him as well. Started 9th, currently is 7th.
And around some lap traffic there.
James Watson just getting out of the way. He's on a drive to survive strategy. I've been there, James. I understand it. A lot of people, even good road racers, every now and then have tracks that they have a difficulty at. And this is not an easy track. There's a lot of blind corners here. We have not done an in-car, which we should do, but this is not an easy track.
Absolutely not. There's a reason why I said at the top of the show. Oh,
you there?
Had a little. Yep. Mic check.
Mic check. You're good.
Yep. A little bit of packet loss there, but what I was saying was, long ago in the faraway time of 2013 to 2015, this was the track that a lot of drivers dreaded because they drew a lot of comparisons to the Nürburgring. Oh, car off on the front straightaway. I think we just got another example of that. That was the 555 of Corey Rutherford as Gavin Sanders comes onto pit road for the last time. But this track with not just the difficulty of the layout of the course, but the no margin for error there. There is no runoff, just grass. It's like the Nürburgring in so many regards. A lot smaller, obviously. 3.2 miles versus over 15 miles over in Germany. But this track really put it to the test here a long time ago, and a lot of drivers made comparisons to the Nürburgring before the Nürburgring joined the service. So this track has a reputation for being difficult, difficult track to master.
It is, and this is a newer scan, so the track has been improved just recently, not too long ago. But again, if you notice that there is not a lot of kitty litter runoff here, so when you run off, you hit that grass, and it's like a turbo boost to the tire barriers.
Yeah, exactly. It's just the floor just becomes ice at that point, and you just get sent into the tire barrier. There is no margin for error here. If you go over the curbing, you're in for a bad time, my friend. And we've seen that a few times tonight. A few really good drivers have been caught out tonight by just the sheer difficulty of VIR. This place will catch out even the best.
Caleb Benzie on pit road, last scheduled stop, 10 to go. If you're just joining us, this is coverage of the Formula Indy Series coming to you from VIR for the JSelmants Motorsports Art Grand Prix of Virginia International, or VIR, where we've now completed, we got 10 laps to go, so we're quickly ticking through this race of 38 scheduled. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and click the bell for notifications. The next race for the FIS is next week. It is our last oval race of the season at Nashville for the Nashville 300K. Coverage starts at 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time right here on P1. Titus Sherlock final stop underway and done. Gavin Sanders moves to the top once again, and it's kind of turning into clockwork. All he needs to do is hang on for another 9 more laps and bring it home, and he's in for win number 2 this season.
Indeed. So, though, he brought down the gap between him and Sanders by about 2 seconds there on that pit stop, about 4 seconds as opposed to 6 previously. So Benzie, this is definitely his shot to get back up there against Gavin Sanders.
Or Gavin wins here, and of course he has an oval win already this season. He's pretty good on the ovals. If he could put on a late season charge into this championship, Now's the time to do it, especially with that oval as the wild card race between now and the season ender at Road Atlanta.
And meanwhile, Matt Schlosser currently in third at the moment. Of course, going for a different strategy there. Titus Sherlock
still needs
right
to come to pit
him.
road. He still needs to come to pit road. I don't think he can make it.
Yeah.
Without stopping. He went 15 laps on his first stint. He's at lap 14 now. Now, granted, his first stint was all push to pass, so he might have a little extra fuel in there, but I don't think he has that much fuel in there. Hey, in December, P1 Broadcasting becomes a primetime home for Happy Hour at the Brickyard, your nightly destination for all the action leading up to the prestigious PRI Hoosier 500. The last kiss of the bricks for 2025 starts right here. The countdown is on, so everybody pucker up and don't miss a second of the action. Like, share, and subscribe to stay locked in, and we will see you in December when we bring you the lead up to the PRI Hoosier 500.
And the gap, maybe a little bit of a trick there of the timing and scoring line there, but the gap, because the gap now between Sanders and Bensi, about the same as it was pre-pit stop, about 6 seconds. So Gavin just needs to hit his marks as he's been doing all night and bring home win number 2 this season and reassert himself in this championship fight.
Here's Schlosser, the battle between Schlosser and Sherlock. Schlosser had that podium finish at Milwaukee where he decided to stay out with old tires, and that was the high IQ play there. Caleb Bensi goes purple that time by with a time of 1:28.7. But the Schlosser looking for another good finish this season here on the road course at VIR to back up that podium he had at Milwaukee. Currently,
he's actually let Titus Sherlock around him for P3, so in a little bit of a fuel save mentality, it looks like, for Matt Schlosser, as I saw a little bit of smoke up ahead of Titus Sherlock there, a little bit of a lockup there.
And that is Griffin Yellen in front of Titus, one of his teammates. He gets out of the way.
Yep, gets out of the way pretty quickly. And this was definitely not the result Titus Sherlock would have wanted, especially against Caleb Bensi. He needs to gain points against Caleb to get back in this championship fight for the last 2 races. It's certainly possible. We've seen a lot of things can change, and things can change in an instant in any form of racing. But Titus, seeing this situation, this is not what he would have wanted for this result in the championship fight this late in the season. Working lap 33 of 38. So it's going to be 5 laps to go soon. Gavin Sanders down the inside of Corey Rutherford. Puts him a lap down. And Caleb Bensi took about a second out of the gap there between him and Sanders on that last lap. Can it be more?
5.2 to Sanders from Bensi's current running position.
He does have some lap traffic to contend with, though, is the big thing there. Brian Labarge and Tommy Rovalla is going to be seeing Gavin Sanders catch up to him pretty soon there.
Here is your push-to-pass situation. Sanders hasn't even touched the button. That's something. He's our leader and hasn't even touched the button. Hasn't even needed to go to use it once. Bensi, 41 seconds left. Sherlock, he's barely touched as well. He has 72 seconds left. Of course, we've talked about Schlosser. He has been Winchester since about the end of his first stint. He is out. Bonini, 152. Ingrave, 169. Allen still with the full complement of push to pass, but he's on a one-stop strategy at the moment, so that explains why that. Claiborne at 63, DeFavis at 80, and J.J. Wang, he has mashed the button as a pro today, too. He is also out.
And Schlosser is signaling he's coming
on a black flag.
Oh, again? Second time tonight, Tanner DeFabis in 8th place, working his way up from a black flag previously, gets another black flag. What has happened here? Did he do it again? He did. Pit speeding infringement, it looks like. Yeah, he hit the button just a tad too soon to turn off the pit road speed limiter, and it has cost him dearly. Second black flag penalty of the night for Tanner DeFabis. Oh, my goodness.
There's races you want to forget about sometimes.
Absolutely. And let's not forget, DeFabis was leading the race going into the first round of pit stops. That's just more salt in the wound, I'd say.
Get back to our gaps and let everyone know what the intervals are out there. 12 cars still remaining on the lead lap, and is watching Aslan trying to grasp to that final spot to stay on the lead lap there in 12th. Here comes Gavin.
Yeah, try as he might. Here comes Gavin Sanders.
And
around the outside, lets him go.
Now the top 11 on the lead lap. Last car on the lead lap is Hunter Ingrave. Hunter is about 17 seconds up the road. Right now with 4 laps to go, unless he has an off or something, I don't think he has to worry about going down a lap. Canada famous, I think, still needs to answer the black flag.
I think he does. Yeah, he's still being scored in 7th position. He's going to stretch it all the way as long as he can get away with. You can get away with 4 laps under black flag, and then it will automatically kick you off the track. And DeFabis is going to push that as far as he can go. And he's going to go for one more, it looks like.
As he's on push to pass.
Yep, in 6th place. He's got to be frustrated there. Oh, car off.
Miglin.
That was the Miglin. And Nick went off as well.
We have not done a ride-along with one of our drivers yet. So here is a lap with our leader, Gavin Sanders, at the start-finish line. Coming to 3 to go now. And we get to ride around this place with our leader coming to turn 1.
From 180 miles an hour down to about 55 at the apex at turn 1. Fast exit there, sweeping turn 2. And we go into NASCAR bend, as they call it. Wide runoff here. First gear here for these very tight S's, some of the tightest corners on the circuit. And then one where you gotta be very precise on your exit. Now uphill through the S's. One of the most amazing parts of this track.
Target's light right there. Car's gonna get light right there as well.
155 miles an hour at the apex.
This is Oak Tree.
It's squeamish under braking, double apex right-hander, and now onto the backstretch.
A very long backstretch.
Yes, it is. Easy to get the draft here. Up there with some of the biggest ovals, I can definitely compare to a place like Pocono. 180 miles an hour again. Very tricky braking here while you're turning left and then right for the downhill through the roller coaster. And it feels like one. Especially here, up on that curb and then down to the dip. Hard on the throttle, back onto the front straightaway. VIR, fast, flowing, fun, very challenging track. You either love this place or you hate this place. I think a lot of drivers can say one thing, it's a challenge.
2 to go right now. Closest battle on the racetrack back here with Kyle Allen. He is going to probably pull off this one stopper, and he is back in 10th now at the moment. Tanner DeFabis is on pit road answering the black flag. Will he re-enter the race or just finish there? I would imagine he wants to try to rescue as many points as possible. Yes, and he's coming back out to finish these last 2 laps.
I'm looking at this big tussle right here. This is effectively a 5-car battle for 6th place. Claiborne, Engraf, JJ Wang, Takeshi Kida, Kyle Allen. 4 of them particularly very close together going into these final laps.
Yeah, we got 1 lap car in the middle there. That is Miglin.
Miglin, yeah. JJ Wang sees that opportunity. He's trying to pull away here as Kida sees Kyle Allen, and he's really not liking having to deal with Dan Miglin at the moment. 2 to go for them. Gavin Sanders, though, off the final corner. White flag in the air. 1 to go at VIR. Meanwhile, 10 cars left on the lead lap at this time. This battle on for 9th place. One of the closest on the circuit. Cody Claiborne is leading in the amateur standings in 6th position. Very well done by the Fish car. Awesome job there. Actually, belayed that 7th place. Hunter Engraf has gotten around Cody Claiborne for 6th place.
A good, just keep it on the racetrack there. A good race for Hunter. Again, started up front, had a good qualifying. Got a little bit of trouble with the nose getting clipped off at the start, and gets a new nose and goes from the front to the back to the front again, and he's looking at a top 6 finish here. Final lap underway. As that's Kyle Mundell. He is getting out of the way on the backstretch pit road.
Yeah, that's not normally where you'd set up a pit stall here. That's mainly for the club guys.
Yeah, just getting out of the way.
Yeah, just getting out of the way of our leader as Gavin comes down the roller coaster for the last time. And win number 2 this season, 2nd all-time list. Gavin Sanders gets himself back in this championship fight. He wins in Virginia.
Wins on an oval this season and a road course. Along with Caleb doing the same. Here comes Caleb in for another podium. And Titus Sherlock, a distant 3rd, a day that he kind of may want to forget. But still finishing on the podium is going to at least keep him in the running.
Yeah, he does. Titus Sherlock, P3. Definitely not what he wanted, but there's still a chance going into Nashville and Road Atlanta.
Bonimi coming home 4th in one of his best finishes in this series. And Matt Schlosser, he is going to come home in 5th if he could bring it home. Just a couple more turns to go. It'll be a 2nd top 5 of the season. A good run for him. I guess the strategy was use all that push to pass early.
Yeah, I guess so. It worked out pretty well. Matt Schlosser, P5, a unique strategy, and it did him well.
Hunter Engrave coming home in 6th. And Cody Claiborne in the Fish car, the lead amateur, in 7th. JJ Wang, another top 10 for JJ. He comes home in 8th. Kidda, he had a little bit of a run-in early in the race. Probably shoulda, woulda, coulda. He's thinking on his mind. He finishes 9th. And Kyle Allen on the one-stopper. He finishes 7 spots better and comes home 10th. But your biggest gainer...
the one stop works for someone.
Yeah.
And this time was Allen.
Yeah, your biggest gainer of the day, though, is JJ Wang, up 18 spots. Woo. He started in 26th and finishes in 8th. And you see Gavin Sanders with the 6-second win over Caleb Benzie. Gavin's 2nd of the season. 1st on a road course this season. 11th win overall for our inaugural season champion. He is now 2nd place all time in wins in the FIS. Caleb Benzie 2nd. Titus Sherlock in 3rd. Bonemi in 4th, Schlosser 5th, Ingrave 6th, Claiborne 7th, Wang 8th, Kidda 9th, and Kyle Allen in 10th. Gabe in 11th, Brian Labarge in 12th, Tommy Raval, our amateur points leader. He's still going to hold on to that lead. He's in 13th, Griffin Yellen 14th, DeFabus, not the race he wanted, coming home 15th, Goyette 16th, Miglin 17th. Rutherford's coming home in 18th and 20th with James Watson, the meat of the Rutherford sandwich there in 19th. Herman and Selmans, teammates 21st and 22nd. Johnston, not the finish he was looking for in 23rd. Zach Flaum 24th. Colin Lindell 25th. Costello 26th. Ardros in 27th. Papastavas 28th. Tristan Moss 29th. And our Season 2 champion, Nate Seifert, comes home in 30th. And final on the race, in the order for the race, taken out there in one of the first corners is Logan Spath, coming home 31st.
And waiting to see who will join us in the booth. We're expecting all three of them to be up here.
Tanner DeFabus did have the purple lap. I'm sure that was a little bit of anger.
Yeah, a little bit of red drive in there. And frankly, I can't say I blame him too much there. That's just gotta be brutal. It was small unforced errors that caused both of those penalties. Obviously, you gotta take it on the chin. There's nothing you can really do about it, but that has gotta be very frustrating there. And I can imagine he's gonna want some comeuppance for the next couple of races, I think. Still waiting on them to show up, doing some debrief there with their teams, it would seem.
All right. All right, and let's check and also see if we have new points yet. Don't think we have new points yet, so we'll continue to watch that. Let's go to the interview room, see if there's anyone there. And we do have some people there. And we are going to bring up Titus Sherlock. He's in there with some of his teammates, so hopefully we don't rip him away from doing some important debriefing. But we will bring him up now. And here he is, Titus Sherlock. P3 here today, and not the day you ultimately wanted, but still P3 hangs you tough in the tournament, excuse me, I've been watching too much basketball. P3 hangs you tough in the championship still. Talk about your race. This is not an easy racetrack to run these cars at.
Yeah, it wasn't perfect, but of course still got the points, which was ultimately the goal. Just battled a little bit too much at the start of the race and kind of lost time to the leaders and tried to make up for it from there. But yeah, good solid points today.
Go ahead, Stevie.
Yeah, yeah, that was definitely kind of a struggle, it would seem, falling off after the first stint, really. What do you think was the area where you guys were struggling this week? Because it seemed like there was definitely pace to be had. It just wasn't able to be harnessed for the whole race.
Yeah, we went for a bit of a fuel saving strategy, tried to gain a lap, or I did at least, and I don't know if it was the right decision in the end. So that was a little bit of a mistake, which kind of made us look slow maybe, but yeah, and I've also didn't put together the greatest qualifying lap either, so just little things to learn, but hopefully we can come back stronger next time. But still a good points day for sure.
Going to the oval next, the last oval this season at Nashville. I don't know if you've ever raced these cars at Nashville, but it is quite possibly one of the more difficult tracks to race these cars at oval-wise. I remember when it first got on the service, I was like, cool, a new oval. And I got it, and I'm like, this is awful. Have you got a chance to race them at Nashville yet? And your thoughts about moving on to the oval next week? It's not going to be an easy one.
Yeah, no, I don't even own Nashville. I just every oval round we have, I just buy the track the day before, because I don't own any. But yeah, it'll be tough. You know, I'm not an oval guy, so I gotta put in maybe a little bit of extra time now that the championship's coming close, to try to get on top of it. And obviously, Caleb's quite good at ovals, so it'll be just a bit of damage limitation to hopefully come back strong at Road Atlanta. But of course, I'll be trying my best to try to get that win either way.
Yeah, get your practice in for sure. Go ahead, Stevie. I'm sorry.
Yeah, I was going to say, speaking from experience, Nashville is definitely a tricky little oval, so it's definitely worth getting some seat time in beforehand, just so you feel comfortable with the place. So hopefully that works out for you.
Appreciate it. Yeah, looking forward to returning next week and hopefully finishing out the championship strong.
Shout outs, friend, family, sponsors. Anyone want to say hi to before we let you go?
Yeah, just the whole Eclipse team as always. Obviously, you guys, all the admins for putting on the series, all the sponsors on our car, Eclipse, Mosaic, ProGuard, iWish, Destination Athlete, pretty much everyone. Just thank you for supporting us, and hopefully we can bring home the championship here in a few weeks.
All right, so 2 more races to go after this. Still in the hunt. Titus Sherlock P3 today here at VIR. We'll see you in a week at the big oval in Nashville.
Appreciate it.
See ya.
Thank you.
And let's bring up Caleb Bency. And here he is. And here is Caleb. Caleb, going back, if everything works out in the way that it's looking like so far on this schedule, we don't want to count anything for you, though. But if there's one race you kind of go back and look at, this might be the one where you circle it and say, that finish kind of was the one that kind of sealed the deal. How do you feel about this P2 today here at VIR? You got up there and led early, but got ran down, fell back a little bit, but recovered some positions to get back on that second step. It's got to probably feel as close as it can to a win, getting that P2 today, knowing that the only person that you didn't gain points on today was Gavin, and he still has a kind of a bit of a gap before he can reach you. But the most important one is putting a little bit more of a gap on Titus.
Yeah, for sure. I honestly very happy with that because I've actually been on a trip and got home at probably about 7:45.
Oh,
and
wow.
Threw all the bags in the house and ran up here and got in and hadn't really had any practice. So,
make me sick.
Yeah, and obviously it kind of it showed with the race pace. I mean, you can figure out a single lap of qualifying relatively quickly, in my opinion. But the race pace, obviously, in my opinion, is where it showed my lack of preparation. But just couldn't quite have the outright pace and keep the tires underneath me as Gavin and Tanner there at the start. The pace was way faster than what I was expecting, and was trying to save the rears, and I was having just, I don't know, a bit of all over the place in terms of brake balance, and tried to compensate for that, and started missing braking zones, and it just kind of started spiraling a little bit. Didn't help with how fast we were running. So yeah, once they kind of both got past, and I was able to settle down in my own rhythm a bit and just kind of go from there. But so yeah, all things considered, I'm very, very happy with that. I think towards the end there, I feel like I could hang with Gavin pace wise. I still was making mistakes here and there, but I don't think I was really had anything to go out and beat him at any point this race. So yeah, I mean, I think maximize what I could, and like you said, finish in front of Titus, which I guess is the main goal right now.
Go ahead, Stevie.
Yeah, and I did notice a few of the a few locking of brakes throughout the race there. And really, it's one thing we emphasized at the start of this race. This track is quite a challenging one, despite appearances. In fact, I remember a time when it was directly compared to the Nürburgring in terms of difficulty. And that really seems to show it tonight, and especially for someone who just rushed in and got on there. That's quite impressive. But what's your thoughts about the track in general here? And I'm guessing you want to be back here to go for another win tonight.
Yeah, I absolutely love this track. It's the type of tracks where you could just throw the car around and attack corners super hard, high commitment, and just a lot of elevation change too. Like, those are the tracks I just absolutely love. And yeah, pretty well, I think, could just hop in and kind of find the limit. Again, the long run pace is where I was struggling, but yeah, just putting together a lap here is so satisfying when you kind of get it all right, because it's just, you only are referencing maybe 2 actual braking zones the entire lap. Like the rest of it's just kind of feeling it out and attacking what you think you can and dance the car out to the edge. And yeah, so it's a lot of fun. It's a lot of sketchiness and, you know, close calls, as you, like you said, you guys saw probably plenty on my end. But yeah, just being able to keep it on the track though, and just, you know, still bring home a pretty solid finish is pretty awesome.
Next up is Nashville for you. Again, you're always seem to be good on the ovals. This is a track, Nashville, that you have done very well in the past with top-tier competition. I remember that you finished on the podium there in Lionheart competition a couple of seasons ago. And the only person I think that beat you in that race was Phil Kraus. And, well, he only just finished second in the Pro Series championship, so he's really no slouch to finish second to. I would imagine you are looking forward the next week and maybe putting the nail in the coffin here at Nashville.
Yeah, I mean, ideally we'd love to do that, but it's definitely gonna be tough because, as you guys know, they have not, iRacing has neglected to update the aero package, which is very, very frustrating to me. But I guess we can't do anything about it. So we'll be running the Super Speedway package, and it's very tough to pass. Like, we just don't have enough grip to make consistent moves. So I think the plan is to try and, you know, run a cooler race, run it at night, run a bit of an aggressive setup, and hope to see something maybe be a little bit easier to actual race with it. So track position is going to be pretty big in my opinion. So just trying to maximize qualifying, I guess, and just stay out of trouble, because obviously you know how quickly things can go wrong in ovals, which is not what's needed right now in the championship. So yeah, I normally feel pretty confident going into ovals. So if I feel like as long as you can keep the car up front and not get mired back for bad qualifying, bad pits, whatever, I think hopefully it should be pretty good.
Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors, go right ahead.
Yeah, as always, thanks to you guys, first of all, for on the broadcast. And as always, people enjoy it, at least in our circle. So, and then, yeah, Amigos Sakira, if you're in the Northeast Ohio area, go check them out. Fantastic food. JSelmants, Motorsports art as well. And yeah, family and friends who are tuning in as always. Thanks for the support. And yeah, just happy to keep chipping away at these podiums. Obviously, you want to be top step, but I feel like for the most part, I was probably pretty maximized what I could have gotten out tonight. So pretty happy.
Well, congratulations, and we'll see you in a week at the Oval in Nashville.
Yep, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Yeah, and that race, I was actually, you were in that race too, Stevie, in Lionheart. I think you had did you have a top 10 in that one? I can't remember if you, I thought you were doing reasonably well.
Yeah, I definitely, that could be possible. I just need to recall.
Yeah, I was spotting for Caleb in that race, and we started up front and never passed the soul all night.
Wow.
We stayed in second, started second and stayed in second, and never managed. We got in I think we got in a couple good laps racing with Alexis Newsom, but it was so hard the pass there. She was unable to get around us, and then once the tires start getting wear there, it's kind of a single file and hope for the people someone in front of you makes a mistake. And I think it was only one caution. I mean, almost nobody was making mistakes that race, but it was a tough one. I remember it was a tough one, and he finished second, I think, to Phil Kraus, and Phil Kraus doesn't make mistakes very often. But here is Gavin. We'll bring him up now. We got some of Joey's artwork up on the screen as well. All his socials are in the description, so you can, if you want a piece of motorsport art, especially IndyCar, something to hang on your wall next to your computer, in your office, in your bedroom, in your den, whatever. Check out Joey there. All his socials are in the description. Let's bring up Gavin Sanders. Here he is. Gavin Sanders, win number 2 on the season, 1 on a road course, 1 on an oval now. And really, once you broke out front, you kind of broke away. And again, you've never, in the 3 races that we've had here in the FIS, you've never finished outside the top 5, and kind of continue that here today with another win.
Yeah, that was a straightforward race. I would say no crazy strategy this week, so that was nice to not have to manage anything with fuel or anything like that. Just straight up go for it. And obviously Tanner had his issues, but it was nice to just have pace for what felt like a good chunk of the race. Caleb was very fast on new reds, but obviously it was hotly contested at the start, and then kind of spread out. So the top three were flying tonight.
Yeah, you were. Stevie, go ahead.
Yeah, that was just a clinical performance here tonight, and obviously you really enjoyed this place. I'm sure you want to come back here, but going into these final few races, I think this has really put you in the conversation for a championship going into the final two races. So I know you said to us before that your game plan is to be able to talk to us at the end of the night, and you should be doing just fine. I'm guessing that hasn't changed all that much.
No, I think that a lot has to go right. Obviously, Nashville will be a pretty large wild card.
Right.
Just seeing that normally I would say the regular road course top 5, top 10 kind of differs a bit when we get to ovals. So that'll be interesting to see where that all kind of plays out. But yeah, I think I wouldn't say in the conversation is we're not quite there yet, but we're very we're nearing that stage for sure. But not definitely running out of time. So gotta keep stacking some trophies, and that's that. But any wild opportunities I can take to try and put myself in a position to win each week, like I said a couple weeks ago, will definitely be taken. And I think Spa was a little bit disappointing, but at the end of the day, we're in the mix, I would say. So happy with that, nonetheless.
Let's see. Points are out now. Caleb is the points leader by 29 now over Titus. 78 over you, so you need to have a big race next week. Otherwise, you might be eliminated after even before getting to the final race. But still in third, and a pretty good cushion over Tanner, who's in fourth. JJ's moved up to fifth. Kid is in sixth. Schlosser in seventh. Spath in eighth. Soul Edge has moved down 4 spots just by not showing up today, but he's in 9th, and Bonimi moved up 5 spots with his finish today to 10th. Thoughts on the points, and most critically is just trying to stay alive for that last race. I mean, it's a lot. It's very uphill for you.
Yeah, I think Nashville will throw everything it has at the field, but just trying to stay in the conversation is obviously half the battle, because once we get to the last race, where is it again?
Road Atlanta.
Oh, geez, yeah. Caleb's rather good there, so we'll see. But lots of stuff will transpire, I think, over the next couple of weeks, and we'll as long as we're in the mix, I think that's all I can ask for. I think missed a race, and then having some computer issues in one, and not finishing another. So even to be somewhat in the in the realm of competing for the championship is not something I'm not going to take for granted. So,
well, back to second place now, all time on the wins list with win number 11. Shout outs, friends, family, sponsors to you want to talk about to celebrate this big win, and you broke a tie with Caleb, so you got an edge on him at least on one thing right now in the wins department.
Yeah, we'll have to keep winning. But yeah, big thank you to Team Melamo Esports. Thank you to Toots and to Sunset Arctic Games. Guys, buy Echo Blade on Steam. Now that this is a pretty big night. All right, I think if you haven't done it already, I keep saying it. If you haven't done it already, just go do it. Just go buy Echo Blade on Steam. It's not very complicated. It's something you won't regret. So you might as well just go ahead and get that over with. And big thank you to you guys for putting on awesome broadcasts every single week. And we'll get after it in Nashville and see what happens.
All right, best of luck. We'll see you in a week when we get to the Oval. But congratulations on the win tonight. Go celebrate.
Thanks, guys. See you next week.
All right. So much like you did, Stevie, Caleb kind of rushed in the door at the last minute to get onto the broadcast. And, it makes me sick when he says, I didn't have any time to practice. And he gets in here and he, puts up fast lap and qualifies very well and gets a podium finish out of it. And I'm going to have, for me to do well here, I'm talking hundreds of hours and hundreds of laps for me to get better, but just shows you how good all these guys are here in the FIS. Final thoughts on tonight, and then moving on to the oval, the last big wild card, we're going to call it, for the season when we go to Nashville.
Exactly, and this race really brings out the talent in so many drivers. This track really does. And next time, like you said, probably a bit of a wild card situation. Nashville is one of those very challenging ovals out there. Like, as crazy as it sounds, this track is extremely unique. A lot of drivers are still not used to it in a lot of ways. So, and it's hard to get right. So that wild card scenario, like what we saw at Texas earlier in the season, that could well play out again. And we could definitely see a very shaken up order going into the final race. These last two races, they could definitely be one for the ages.
All right. I think that's going to do it here for tonight. We'll get on out of here, give everyone back their Thursday night. Or, I wish it was Thursday. Their Wednesday night. That's it for tonight. Once again, your podium from Virginia International for the JSelmants Motorsports Art Grand Prix of VIR. It's Gavin Sanders, win number 2 on the season, win number 11 overall, moving him second place all-time in FIS history, followed by Caleb Bency in second, maintaining that points lead over P3 of Titus Sherlock. That is your podium for tonight. Join us again next week for round 11. It's the penultimate round, as one of my peers likes to say. Now, the Formula Indy Series Championship is the FIS schedule. Actually, that's last week. This is the FIS schedule and the open schedule all lined up for VIR. But next week, we are going to go to our third and final oval of the season at Nashville Super Speedway. You won't want to miss it. Remember, we're changing times. We did it out a couple of weeks ago. I think Europe is changing time here this weekend. So for the correct broadcast time in your area, you're not sure when the race is, just go to YouTube. Go to our YouTube channel at youtube.com/@P1 Broadcasting. Find next week's race, and it will tell you when the start time is in your area, and you won't miss a thing. The best way to do that is just ring the bell, and we'll tell you why here in a second. Now, as you know, the YouTube algorithm game is not an easy one, so please help support P1 with the weekly grind. Leave a comment below. Let us know you thought of tonight's race. And if you enjoyed tonight's coverage, support us by smashing like in the video. And we want to thank everybody who checked in chat, especially all the families, the mothers, the fathers, the grandparents, everybody. Thanks for watching. We really do appreciate it. If you're new, click subscribe. And while you're at it, hit the bell for weekly reminders so don't miss out on more of P1's other iRacing programming, including, well, next week, right here in the Formula Indy Series. We're heading to Nashville, 8:20 p.m. Eastern Time. You don't want to miss it. Today's coverage was sponsored by JSelmants Motorsports Art. Get your own hand-drawn racing artwork of your favorite driver, livery, team, or motorsports moment to hang in your home. To see more of Joey's work, well, they're right there on the bottom left of your screen. You can check out those bits of samples. But if you want something more specific, contact him for your own commission. Follow him on Instagram. The link is in the description. Track cams for this race are provided by Whiplash Sim Cams. Get the most out of your iRacing experience with Whiplash Sim Cams. To learn more, like Whiplash on Facebook or follow them on X today and Instagram as well. The links are in the description. For business inquiries to learn more about P1 and what we do, like us on Facebook, follow us on X and Instagram, and you can follow all of our social links if you find our Linktree profile. That is in the description, and you can follow everything there. So for Stevie Larkamp, everyone here at the FIS and P1, I'm Gary Gatso, the voice of the FIS, saying to all good night, and thanks for watching, and all of our men and women serving in the military and as first responders, Godspeed, God bless, and come home safe. Catch us again right here next week in Nashville for the next race of the Formula Indy Series on P1. Good night, everybody.